So this is what a standard split coil sounds like. Check this out. Now that is a completely different split tone, and the only thing changing the sound here is one capacitor. Today I want to show you a really simple way to split a humbucker that gives you a way more customizable tone and, in my opinion, a way more authentic single coil sound. Almost nobody talks about this method, and I think it's because it's just a bit misunderstood. But once you understand what's actually happening, it's extremely powerful because you can revoice your split coil sound and your humbucker exactly how you like it. First, I'm going to show you the basic version and how it works, and then I'm going to take things a step further and show you an 8-way switchable version with loads more options you can access on the fly. So normally when people split a humbucker, they just send the connection between the two coils straight to ground. So that completely shuts off one coil. Okay, so instead of doing that, we're going to connect a capacitor to ground at that point. And that's literally the whole mod. It's a tiny change, but it behaves very differently from the normal or partial resistor style splits. Now let me show you how I like to think about this. Now this might not be the most technically perfect explanation, but it's a really helpful way to visualize what's going on. First, think of a humbucker as two separate single coil pickups wired in series. When we split a humbucker, we normally choose one coil to be the main coil, and the second coil usually gets grounded and disappears completely from the circuit. Another common way to do this is add a resistor here to ground, which keeps the second coil partially on. But when we add a capacitor instead, something really interesting happens. That capacitor ends up being in parallel with the second coil, and that shifts the resonant peak, that coil's naturally boosted range of frequencies, to a different part of the frequency spectrum. So instead of removing that coil completely or simply reducing its output, we actually revoice it. And by changing that capacitor value, you can move that second resonant peak around, which means you can tune the second split to exactly how you like. So the original split tone never actually goes away. You're just blending different parts of the second coil back in. Now, if you want to take this idea a step further, you can wire it to a rotary switch. I'm using an 8-way rotary switch here and just a bunch of capacitors. You've got these pins on the back here. Now that center pin there, the common, that will go to where those two humbuckers join, and out from each one of these pins will be a capacitor, apart from position 1, which I'm just going to keep as a straight wire so I can have position 1 as the normal split. So one leg of the capacitor will be connected to each one of these lugs, and all the other legs will be joined together, and all that will go to ground. So each time you turn this switch here, you'll be getting a different voicing. So each position gives a different voicing of that second coil we were talking about, which means you get 8 different split tones you can switch between instantly on the fly. Pretty cool. Okay, let's run through a few settings really quickly. So here is the straight bridge split sound. Notice as I click this around, it's going to really change that sound drastically. And that is one of the really cool things about this mod. There is no one single perfect value. It all comes down to what you like as a player and what you prefer. And also your pickup design will definitely affect the response of this mod. So what you can do is you can go to my website. I've got the schematic of this for free in the free section. There's a link down in the description, but also just grab some alligator clips and experiment with some different values. You might actually stumble across a split tone that you like more than the original humbucker sound, because as we get up in value, up around that 4.7 nanofarad, it's actually really revoicing the humbucker sound itself. Have a listen. Here's the humbucker. And then I'll split it. So to me, it didn't sound like I split the pickup there. It really just sounded like I revoiced that humbucker, which is actually pretty cool. So before you go out and buy a new set of pickups, give this a try first. You might not only get a great new split sound, but you might revoice your humbucker into something you really love. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great week.